What's good, everybody? My name is Mario, and I want to talk about my story. I want to talk about how I was raised, how I came into this world. I was adopted from a mother out of Hollywood, Florida, um, as a baby. Um, y'all, and I never met my mother before, but I remember growing up as a kid. I could never fathom, or I just always thought about like what her eyes looked like, because growing up, guys, people would always comment on my beautiful eyes. People were like, man, look, his eyes, and you know, um, but I never got to meet my mother. I was I came into this world crying because the mother that gave me birth, I was taken away from. And I'm not saying this story for empathy. This is how I came into the world. And I was adopted by a mom, my birth mom. Excuse me, my adopted mom, Mary Bear Dukes. A white woman born in Iowa, and the father from Detroit, born in Arkansas. Um, and guys, this has been my superpower my whole life because I was raised in the suburbs, Shoreview, Minnesota. Went to school in Roseville, and I got to see both sides of life. I got to see the hood in Chicago and Michigan. I got to see the suburbs of Iowa and Wisconsin, Minnesota. I've got to see so many different sides of the world, and not just on TV or in a movie. Like, I really got to see how they treat you when they care about you, how people treat you when they don't care about you, when people are outside of my family, um, and when you really know what's going on. Like, I know what racism is. I know what it looks like. I know how it is when somebody doesn't want to treat you with respect or like a moral human being. And being able to communicate with people that don't look like me, knowing how to talk to people, knowing how to treat people, knowing how to relate to people. Like, honestly, y'all, I don't think because I'm black or maybe you're watching this and you're white that we're any different. A lot of people say this, like, we don't look at color, but that's some bullshit. Everybody looks at color. If I'm talking to a black guy, I'm talking to a black guy. If I'm talking to a Mexican, I'm talking to a Mexican. I don't mean this in a racist way, but I realize that we're not the same. We may have not grown up the same. Like, you might have been brought up a different way than I was brought up. And I'm not saying that that's a way to treat somebody. Bless me. I'm not saying that that's a reason to treat somebody differently. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we are all uniquely different and we are all brought up differently. But what the problem is when people treat people differently. And with my story, sorry, I'm getting off topic, y'all. But with my story, y'all, I've been able to relate to people and talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Being able to connect. Like, I thank God that I got to grow up in a multicultural school with whole different type of cultures. Every single culture that you can think of, I've got to be friends with. I've got to, date or, things of that nature. And I'm truly blessed, man, because I couldn't imagine it any other way. But growing up in a suburb where I'm one of 3 black people out of the whole neighborhood, and coming up that way and coming to the high school where it's majority black, and you know, was an identity crisis for me, y'all. Like figuring out who I am. Like, am I black enough? Am I gonna be accepted because I got a white mom? And you know what, y'all? I want to come to y'all today and to tell y'all that I realize that nobody ever cared. Most people never even knew that I was adopted. To this day, I got people that didn't know I was adopted. Um, but adoption is such a blessing because it's changed my life. And I pray to this day that my birth mom is okay. I pray that she knows that I love her, because I remember for the first time I got to read a letter, because you know what, guys, my whole life I didn't know if my mom loved me or not. I tried to not think about it, but I've always got to ask questions about, like, oh, you ever meet your mom? And I never got to meet her, but I pray one day that I do get to meet her, and I get to tell her that I love her, and I pray that she's doing okay. She's taking care of herself. But I got brought into a wonderful family that, did the best that they can with what they had, and it gave me an amazing childhood. And I'm so blessed, guys, to be able to have that. But this journey that I've been on through being overweight, being depressed, growing up, and honestly, like, when I was in elementary school, my mom would come to the school, y'all, and I would act like I didn't know who that was. I don't know who that is, type thing, like, and I look back as I gotten older, and I realized that my mom is my mom. She's been there since birth. She's been taking care of me. She's made sure that I was straight every single moment. That I don't care if this woman's white. That's my mom. You know what I'm saying? She's done an amazing job of taking care of somebody that doesn't look like her and treating me the same. And she even said this. If you go to my interview of her, she said, I didn't realize how racist people are. And it's out here. But my mom's one of the strongest women I've ever met in my life. And I wouldn't have it any other way. But to continue off that story, like, I treated my mom so angrily because I was so lost inside. I didn't know who I was. I just knew that she didn't look like me. I was being so small-minded, but I was a kid. And I remember going to one of my best friend's house, and he had like 6 siblings, and all of them looked alike. And I remember going home like, wait a minute, Mom, why don't I look like you? And then we had that discussion. But before, guys, I was ignorant to the fact that I was adopted. But it's a blessing, guys. To be able to have a family that cares for me and supports me is a blessing. But one thing that I'm going to make sure I do with my daughter is speaking life into my daughter and being there emotionally, financially, physically, mentally. Because, guys, that's the 4 things, and maybe even 5 things that that we do need as people. Speaking life into people, speaking love and health, and showing people a good example of it's okay to talk to me if you're going through something, if you had a bad day, and it being okay. A lot of people, like, I didn't really grow up with that, and that's no shame to my mom or my dad, but they were in survivor mode, and thankful for them. Now we are the generation that gets to heal. And I'm leaving therapy right now, y'all, and I'm just reflecting on my life and so much that I've been through. And I want to show people that no matter what you go through, that you can still make it and do what you want to do. And I pray that the target audience watching this, that you understand that your story isn't gonna stop you from being you. And it's okay to be different, and it's okay to feel like you don't fit, and it's okay to feel like that you're different, because I'm living proof that it's okay, and I'm still here, and I love you. Thank you. God bless you.